Salam alaikum. Hello and welcome to Measuring Minds or Muzzling Them, a journey into the heart of education. I'm your host, and today we are talking about something deeply rooted in most schooling systems: assessments. But here is a question: what if we didn't test children before high school at all? Sounds radical, maybe not. Let's explore how assessments, especially in early and middle childhood, may be doing more harm than good, and what a world could look like where children grow, not compete. Ayan, age 7, sits in a classroom in uniformed silence. His teacher hands out a worksheet labeled Standardized Evaluation Test, Grade 2. Ayan is autistic. The room is too bright. The pencil is too rigid. The time limit, a slow building storm in his chest. He freezes. Now imagine Rania, dyslexic, the same test, but her letters keep dancing. She's intelligent, creative, but the test won't show that. Early assessments in most parts of the world are made for one kind of brain: fast, linear, and convergent. But the world isn't built by only one kind of thinker. Why then are our tests? Kids with dyslexia, autism, ADHD, dyspraxia, and even trauma survivors all get labeled slow or behind. But behind what? A test clock? Assessments weren't designed with neurodiversity in mind. They create hierarchies, they shame difference, and early exposure to this shame has lasting consequences, from anxiety to school refusal to depression. Most assessments test retention, not understanding. You memorized dates, you wrote neat handwriting, but did you feel excited by the topic? Did it make sense in your world? Probably not. You forgot it a week later because it wasn't learned, it was performed. But even beyond the harm, let's be practical. Early assessments are not just damaging, they're inefficient. Think of the hours spent preparing students for tests that neither teach nor reveal anything meaningful. Now multiply that across thousands of schools. We are spending our most valuable classroom time on activities that neither nourish the soul nor grow the mind. What could these hours become if we gave them back to learning, to reflection, to joy? Let's talk about competition. When the bell rings in schoolyards today, it doesn't just signal recess, it signals a race to the top of class rankings, a race that begins in kindergarten. Even in cultures that value collectivism, imported models of education have made competition a virtue. But when children are ranked, someone must come last. And it's always the same children, the ones who think differently, who live in poverty, who speak another language at home. We have normalized failure as destiny. But in truth, no child fails, the system fails them. When we test ability early on, we disguise ableism as merit. We call a child average when they're actually just untested in their strengths. We say someone is struggling when they are actually surviving, and surviving well in a system not designed for them. These aren't neutral categories, they become self fulfilling labels. Across 5 years of primary education, a student may sit in over 300 small tests, 50 formal exams, and dozens of assessments. That's hundreds of hours spent on stress, memorization, and ranking. What if those hours were used for outdoor learning, collaborative projects, mentorship, and emotional literacy? Music, art, making things with their hands, sitting under a tree and wondering why is the sky blue? You can't test the spark in a child's eyes, but you can build a system where it doesn't go out. So, what do we do instead? Imagine a classroom where teachers are not test administrators, but observers, facilitators, nurturers. Instead of grades, teachers write learning stories. They observe how a child explores ideas, communicates, solves problems. Each child is seen as a full growing human. Children collect their work over time, projects, drawings, ideas, journals. They reflect, what did I enjoy? Where did I struggle? This builds metacognition, not fear of failure. Instead of one judge, children give each other feedback. They learn empathy, humility, and confidence. Learning becomes community, not competition. Older children support younger ones. Everyone learns at their own pace. No top or bottom, just interdependence. These models are not fantasy, they exist in small schools in Finland, in indigenous communities, in quiet progressive classrooms around the world. They reflect a vision of society where every person's growth matters, not just the winners. Imagine a society where nobody is discarded because they didn't perform at age 7, where no one's future is shaped by a childhood mistake, where we don't ask, is this child smart? But instead, what makes this child shine? Such a society doesn't value people for their productivity alone. It values dignity, cooperation, shared purpose. In such a place, education is not a ladder to climb over others. It's a garden where children grow together at different speeds in different directions and all of them bloom. This society doesn't call itself socialist or communist. It just believes in equity deeply. It organizes around the idea that each person matters, not just the fastest. Schools in this world don't rank children. They recognize that not everything valuable can be measured, and not everything measurable is valuable. They also don't waste time. They know that the time of a child is sacred and must be filled with things that grow the human spirit, not crush it. The question isn't how will we know if children are learning without tests? The question is, do we want to keep pretending that our current tests show real learning? Let's build classrooms that mirror the world we want, kind, flexible, fair, imaginative. Let's stop measuring minds with rulers. Let's start listening to them. So the next time someone says, but how will we know if children are learning without testing? Ask them, do our current tests even show us that? Or are we just wasting time, precious time, dressing up fear as accountability? Because the real question isn't what did they score, it's what did they become? Thank you for listening to Measuring Minds or Muzzling Them. If this sparked something in you, share it with someone who still believes in children. Because the future doesn't need more perfect scores, it needs whole humans. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind.